everyone. This is Darlene Abbott. I'm the music mom. Welcome to 20 low-tech activities for pre-K and kindergarten. I will be doing the first 5 of the 20 activities. If you will take a second and make sure that you have downloaded the handouts, the link for the handouts is in the video description, or it is in the post where the link for the video itself is listed. One of the first things I want to show you that I use are these scrunchies. They're not really scrunchies. My kids call them scrunchies because they can scrunch them. But these have never been used in the shower. I get these at the Dollar Tree. I like them because they're very colorful, and it's very affordable for me to get one for all of the kids. What we do with these is I do a lot of vocal exploration with these. So we'll start with our voices high. I've had a cold and my voice is not going very high, so I apologize for that. But we will start up high and let it drop. We will do circles. Ooh. Sometimes it will let the kids tell me something. Something that's really fun to do with these is we can make the voice move. We want to allow them to play and explore with their voices. But what about staying on the same pitch? So going ooh in a straight line in front of you. Those are always fun too, to drop down and keep the same pitch across. Ooh, and make it go across. So you can do, I'm really sorry about my voice. It's sounding kind of scratchy, but those are some fun things to do with those. Now, I'm going to show you just a couple of slides really quickly and continue with some pitch things for preschoolers. So to continue with what we do with the voice with preschoolers, I like to use numbers to teach the first 5 pitches of the scale. And so we will sing up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. However, there is nothing about numbers being placed horizontally like this that says anything to a preschooler about how pitches go up and down. And we want to represent for them visually what they are hearing audibly. It also makes a difference what instrument we use. The instrument doesn't need to be a glockenspiel, because the glockenspiel, like the numbers, go horizontally and they're flat, and it says nothing to a preschooler about pitches going up and down. So I'm suggesting that we use a step bell. This will reinforce visually for our preschoolers what we are wanting to accomplish, as well as placing our numbers diagonally on the wall. Now, if you are in a room where you cannot leave things affixed to a wall, these are very easily put on a piece of poster board or a large piece of paper that you can hold up in front of the kids, or stand up on the marker tray of the board, anything like that, to get the numbers in front of them where they can see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and that pitches are going up and down. Okay, I have a couple of little singing posters, very easy for you to make. I know most schools have a die cut machine. This would be very easily accomplished on either a poster board or on a wall. It is very easy. You can sing up the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and back down. I'm going to use my cursor here to show you how I would point with my finger. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Or, we are singing up, we are singing down. Okay? And so I would touch those stars. That helps make those pitches a little more concrete for your kids. Here's just another example of something that you can make, or these are available to print. Another resource that I recommend everybody has, and I'm sure that you have your own, is a good set of movement cards. You want a set of movement cards that has several movements for them. If you have a set that you use with older children or elementary age children, that is perfectly fine. There may be a couple of moves you have to pull out for preschoolers. For instance, the snapping. I would pull that one out for preschoolers. That's a very difficult move for them. Or skipping. If you have a skipping one, I would pull that out. I like to use them in color. If yours are in black and white or all the same, you can affix those to a colored piece of paper, and that would add the color that you need. I like to use, I have this cube, and I like to use that to have them, toss the cube, whatever color comes up on the top. In this picture, it's the green. Then that child who tossed that color would get that card. And we would lay those in order and make a count of 4. And then we would do each of these movements 4 counts. Okay, we would practice those, and then we would scoop them all up, put them back in the stack, and let everybody toss it again, or continue around the circle. If you have more than, 5 or 6 kids, then you would continue around the circle and let them put more movements. I never do more than 3 or 4 at one time. And always do at least 4 counts for them. Crossing the arms, you want to pump that steady beat. That helps them. With a twist, you want to make sure that you're rocking that steady beat, okay? And of course, tapping the foot or clapping, those are very obvious to keep the steady beat. Another thing that I like to do with the movement cards, and this is a lot of fun, I have this little, trying to get it up there, it's a little foamy, see how squishy it is? It's a little foamy die that has numbers on it. And I have multiple copies of my movement cards. And so there will be several clap cards in this stack, several flap elbows, twist, tap foot, jump. And then I just will take my number cards and we will number each of those. And then I'll allow the kids to roll the numbered cube. And as they roll it, if the 2 lands on top, then that child goes and picks up a movement off of the number 2 stack and brings it to me. So we can choose movements by number or color. I also do some things with classroom instruments by number and color. So I also want to show you very quickly with the vocal explorations that I have. This is from an old resource. I was about to have it upside down. This is from an old resource, but it is just a ball. Again, this is something that would be very easy for you to make with a die cut machine. Just cut out, it doesn't even have to be a ball. If your theme has stars, or if your theme has fish or castles or whatever, you can use any clip art on a piece of poster board, and then just a really thick marker to draw any of the directions that you want their voices to do. And so here we start at the bottom, ooh, and go up, and here we start high and come down. Oftentimes people will ask me, how do you tell the difference between these two with your voice? Like, how can you remember what you were supposed to do? Well, the way I keep it straight in my brain is that this one to me sounds like an American ambulance. This one sounds like a European ambulance. So, ooh, 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 that sounds like an American ambulance. This one sounds like a European ambulance. Ooh, okay, so you can determine those however you want to for your kids. You can create different ones. Another fun one is, like we were talking about with the scrunchies, to drop the ball down and then have it roll on the ground. So, ooh, and keep it straight across. So you can draw lots of different patterns with those. But it is important to know that using this to follow with your voice, and then this is a pre-reading skill. So even though they yield the same result, it is 2 different neural pathways in the brain. So make sure you use both. Those are a lot of fun. Another activity I want to show you that I do with preschoolers that I love is the ball. Again, the reason that I like these, I just bought these at the dollar store. One of the things that I like about these is that, again, they're affordable. I can get one for everybody. Another thing is that I can use these with absolutely any song or music that I'm teaching. Any curriculum, I can pull this out and do it. So we start out doing a very simple, steady beat. It may just be tapping on our hand or tapping on our knee. We might tap it on the table. As the year progresses and I see that steady beat is stronger and progressing with our preschoolers, then I will start to add the slightest little pattern to it. So we may do floor, floor, hand, hand, floor, floor, hand, hand. And so I will create a pattern. That is another thing that is very typical for preschoolers to learn, are patterns. And so we're just sticking that in music. We will get into, of course, much more musical patterns as they progress through the elementary years. But this is just a simple way to start with patterns. For 3/4 time, one of my favorites, and the kids love it too, is to feel the 3/4 beat, or the triple meter beat, is to tap the floor and just go floor, head, head, floor, head, head, floor, head, head. Now the reason I like that is I tell them they have to tap very light on the head, but the floor they can tap as hard as they want to. And it just reinforces the feeling that that one is the strong beat, okay? So we just want to make sure that we create a pattern that's going to allow one to be the strong beat. Another activity that I love to do with my kids is my talking drum. Did you know my drum talks? Does your drum not talk? I'm just kidding. This is just a simple hand drum. If you don't have a hand drum, you can use a pair of rhythm sticks. If you don't have rhythm sticks or don't have the budget for rhythm sticks, dowel rods from Walmart or Lowe's, different places, any crafting place might have them. These are the 1/2 inch, I believe. And the dowel rods come 36 inches, and you can get 4 rhythm sticks out of that if you do them 9 inches long. And that's a perfect size for preschoolers, smaller for their little hands. And so if you don't have a hand drum, you can make your rhythm sticks be talking instead of your drum. So here's how my drum talks. If you will listen, my drum is going to say, walk, 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 walk. And so we will walk on a steady beat around the circle. But if you'll listen closely, my drum also says tiptoe, 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 tiptoe. And we will tiptoe around the circle, okay? And then if you'll listen really closely, every once in a while, my drum will say turn around, okay? And they just get to spin in their spot. So now that I have explained to you what my drum says when he talks, I'm going to let him talk, and I'm going to see if you can do what he's asking you to do. And then we will proceed between the walk, 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 tiptoe, 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 spin. Okay? The kids love the talking drum. That's a really fun activity to do with them. Last but not least, some of the teachers in my school had a rock day, okay? They let the kids dress like rock stars. They just really had fun with it. They painted a pet rock. They did all of that. So to do my part in music, I looked for what might be considered a preschool rock song, so to speak, but it's just a fun song for movement. I found it on YouTube. I will put the link in the handout, and it is called Hands in the Air. It's by Amber Sky Records, okay? I'm just going to let a little bit of it play and show you what we did with this song. Here goes Hands in the Air. Hands in the air, hands in the air, hands in the air. Hands in the air, hands in the air, hands in the air. Jump! Put your left hand up, clap your hands, spin around, now touch the ground, jump up, jump down, jump, 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 into the hole. So you can see, you just literally follow along with what the words say to do. It does go on to say M to the O, O to the V, V to the E, now move with me. And that is like a free movement section. I let them move however they want to. But we did that song on Rock Day, and it ended up being a favorite for the entire year. So fun that we did it with our program and did let our parents also do the hands in the air and freeze. And I'm not sure why with preschoolers, when you put your hands in the air, that you have to freeze in a weird position. But even with your hands in the air, when I would say freeze, they would go, just strike a pose, which is part of the joy of working with the littles. So hope you guys have a great day, and know that if you need a set of step bells, West Music has partnered with us and has given us a coupon code for free shipping. So be sure you check all of the information out in the description of the video and in the exhibit hall.
Hi, I'm Jane Marsilio from Silio Music, and these are a few activities that my preschoolers and kindergartners love. So I hope you find some of them helpful. So this one is more for fun, but it also teaches form. The first one is Rocket Ship Run by the Lori Berkner Band. And I like to do this in the beginning of the school year and the end of the school year because it kind of like is a great introduction to the kids, like, hey, welcome to music. We are gonna have so much fun. We're gonna use our imagination. It's gonna be great. So with this, I pretend like their scarves are rocket ships. And this is just tulle that I cut up from Joann Fabrics. It was super cheap. They pretend like these are their rocket ships and they're sitting in their spots. And here's a little bit of the song.
Lots of little fish.
That is the Goldfish song, another favorite. Definitely check out Goldfish song if you've never done that one.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Blast off!
Another rocket ship run.
Gonna get down.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Blast off!
Another rocket ship run. Take me to
And then they fly to the sun.
Take me to the sun.
So they can fly to a designated spot where you've put a picture of the sun. I've done that before. That usually works with a smaller group. If you have a big group, I just let them fly freely. And then it goes back to the refrain of 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, blast off. And then we fly to the moon. And one thing I like to do is grab my Bluetooth speaker and take them out into the hallway, because we're in kind of a secluded hallway. And I have them fly up and down the hall, so they think that's like really fun. And then there's another verse where they go to the stars, and for the stars, I just have them pop the scarves up in the air and keep them up. And then the last verse, they go to Earth, so I just have them fly back down to Earth, and they sit down. And then there's one more blast off that they do while they're in their seats. So that's a really fun song. Now that we have our scarves in our hand, and I want them to put the scarves away without any chaos or anything, I like to use the song, Oh My Goodness, Look at This Mess, and it's by Sweet Honey in the Rock, and the kids absolutely love this one. And you can use it with scarves or any other small instrument. And what they do is they play with their toys, and then an adult is coming and the adult says, oh my goodness, look at this mess. And what the kids do is they find unique ways to hide the mess. And they're just like, what mess? What are you talking about? So, they hide them under their seats, between their knees, under their feet, and their hair. I mean, you'll get some really wacky places. Just make sure if they're wearing shorts that they do not go in the shorts. That's gross. Here's a little snippet of that. I'll just start in the middle somewhere. So they're gonna hide on the verse, on the refrain. What mess?
Oh my goodness, look over there. Stuffed animals are everywhere. If I don't put my things away, how will I find it when it's time to play?
Someone's coming. Uh-oh, where are we gonna hide it?
I'm the one who made it, I do confess. Yeah, oh my goodness, look at this mess.
So they really like that one. And on the last verse, it's all about personal responsibility. And what they do is they'll take their scarves and fold them up and put them away. And that works out great. And like I said, it works for most instruments. I've even done it with rhythm sticks, and that worked really well. They would do things like put them between their legs or hide them behind their back. So even though these look like they would be hard to hide, they'll think of places. Another really good one for preschool and younger is The Colors Are Gliding by Lynn Kleiner. And that's when they sway with the scarves and they fold them up and put them away. So that's a nice, gentle, calm one for the younger kids. Another good one is Little Johnny Brown. So there are a bunch of different variations of that song, but that's also about folding up the scarf. If you have instruments, another thing I like to do for my third tip is teaching rest position with a song. So you can use this with sticks or any other instrument that you want them to know rest position for. And I found a song called Tap Our Sticks Together by Rahel, and I found this on Spotify, and she's listed as Rahel and in parentheses and Rachel, and I'll link to this and all the other songs in the handout that you can download. But this is a great song, and they love coming up with creative rest position for this, but it's better if you sing it. And the song is simple. It's better if you sing it because you can control the quiet moments, and you'll see what I mean here.
We'll tap our sticks together, tap our sticks together, tap our sticks together because it's fun to do. We'll tap our sticks together, tap our sticks together, tap our sticks together because it's fun to do. And the sticks go tap, 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 shh. 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 Tap, tap, tap. Tap, 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 tap.
All right, so that's a fun one. And of course you can do Let's Shake Our Eggs Together or any other instrument. And after I did this activity, we read Edward's Rhythm Sticks by Franklin Willis. And there are parts in the book where the kids tap along. And then as soon as I say rest position, it's like, shh, it was immediate silence. So that was pretty cool. All right, the next tip I have is for vocal plays. Here are a couple of things that I like to do. First, I like to grab a pointer, and you can use any pointer. And I have these cool finger puppets from Linda's Etsy shop, Floating Down River with Linda Siemens. I'll link to that in the handout. But I just use any of the animals in here and put them on the end of a pointer. And I'll draw like a squiggly line on the whiteboard and have the bird, like if you're having like the bird fly down from a tree or ride a roller coaster, it would just go wee. And before COVID, so 2 years ago, I had the kids do it one at a time, and they would come up and go wee. And at first it was a little bit slow. At first there are kids who don't want to do it. At first there are kids who just take the stick and go like this. I'm done, thank you. But after you do it a few times, it goes really fast. I can get the whole class in under 2 minutes for sure. So they just do their wee, and I'm up there at the board, next, and the next kid grabs it and goes, and then eventually the kids who don't want to go will come up. Eventually the kids who didn't want to make the sound will make the sound, so just give them a little time. And this was a favorite. So last year when I handled the stick, just me, I could tell they really wanted to go up there and do it, but they weren't allowed to this past year. So that's a fun way to do it. Another thing I like to do is take a cup, put a mode of transportation on there, and draw a background. Like for this, I could put like a hilly road or something for this skateboard. And then I would stuff a Beanie Baby in here. If you don't have a Beanie Baby, any toy would work. Oops, I have popsicle sticks in there. But like this is a dog toy. And you could just have the animal skateboard over the hills. Woo, woo, woo. So that's a fun one. They like to grab the cup and they all take a turn. It's really cute. I also made Google Slides backgrounds for these. So if you don't feel like drawing a background every week, it'll pop up different things like the ocean or what are those, hot air balloons? Yeah, so they're all different kind of backgrounds for that. And I'll put that on the handout along with the other songs and things that I used. Another thing I like to use for vocal play is a laser pointer, and like I just have one for cats, and I just draw on the wall and they sing. I like to do a straight line too, like beep. So that's a fun one. Oh, I forgot about one more finger puppet. I got these at Walgreens after Halloween. They were 90 cents, and I'll just put them on the end of a stick, and they can also do the activity with one of these wiggly ones. So I thought these were really cute. My last activity is about 4 voices. So if you're teaching 4 voices, you can grab these at the Dollar Tree. They've been there for as long as I remember. They're always there in the teacher section. And you can write the 4 voices on the dice, or you can put a picture on there if you're having the kids read it. If you're using it with songs, like if you're doing a song like Apple Tree, you can have them whisper it, shout it, sing it, speak it, and then you can add a second die with a movement. So while they're whispering, they can roll it and it says tiptoe. So they can whisper the song while they tiptoe. You can also add another die to get more complicated and add fast or slow, loud or soft, or anything like that. And it really looks like I'm about to juggle here, but I don't know how to juggle. So those are my tips. I hope you stick around for part 2, and I hope they were helpful.
Welcome to part 2 of 20 low or no tech activities for pre-K and kindergarten. If you missed the part 1 with Jane Marsilio and Darlene Abbott, please go back into the Music Crew Collaborative on Facebook and you'll find the videos there. My name is Linda Siemens from Floating Down the River, and I want to show you 5 of my favorite activities. I start in kindergarten with a movement activity. Students come in preschool this would work as well. They don't know often have ideas for moving, and so I will bring out my bubbles. I buy a Dollar Tree dollar bottle and blow the bubbles on the students. They are so delighted to have those bubbles blown on them. They giggle and love it. And I ask them to glue their bottom to the floor and stay in their spot so that they're not disturbing the other students. We talk about how the bubbles float slowly around the room, and that's a good science lesson as well. And then we pretend we're going to blow up our own bubbles. Start very small. I make my body bigger and my eyes bigger as it gets bigger. I compliment students who are slowly blowing up their bubbles. Alejandra, you are doing a great job blowing your bubbles slowly, because some students will go, so you want to encourage them to blow them slowly. When it gets large, have them step inside their bubble. Ask them to glue their feet to the floor. I'm going to sit, since I'm doing this on video, glue their feet to the floor and listen and stay in their own bubble. And I like to play Haydn's Symphony Number 101, The Clock, and we do different movements to each phrase. I try not to talk and just show them what I'm doing. So we might start with moving one arm. They don't know the word beat yet, but they will copy. And then I'll say, move the other arm. Now just your fingers. Move their head. Now move the whole body. Now, beyond that, we will do that a few times. We can do it with different pieces of music. And I have a whole thing about the doing bubbles in my store. It's free, and I will give you a link to that. And we go on. I might ask them next time, if you do a really good following the movements, then we can get out a scarf, and you can use a scarf eventually. Then you can ask them, not in the same time, but later on as they get better at this, ask them to move around slowly in their bubbles, doing their movements, and not pop other students. If someone is being reckless and running or popping, then I ask them to sit down, and they can try again after a few minutes. And they absolutely love that. I also have in my free pack some ideas for you to show them pictures. You could just hold up one of these and have them tap their arms, or this one is putting their hands out. Here's one with their hands up high, so just give them some different ideas. This one is tapping on their legs, so you can show them some of these to give them ideas. Again, I'll give you that link in the handout. Another favorite thing I love to do to work on in-tune singing, we do vocal play or vocal exploration every single day in actually all of my classes. And I like to, one of my favorite puppets that I do, especially in October, is to use ghosts. I have some cute ghosts. You can make these yourself by just cutting out a piece of felt and gluing them, using a marker to put eyes on it. And we like, these ghosts are extra good for the good ooze sound for beautiful singing. So I model their vocal play. I will go, woo. They can copy with their hand, woo, and their voice, woo, woo. Talk about going up, woo, going down, woo. And they will model that. If you have a puppet for each student, it makes them feel more comfortable. If they each have one, you could also have a paper puppet on a stick or a felt puppet. And they love to do that. Have them learn. Once they get really good at modeling, you can have students stand up and be the guide, and other students, even in young students, can do this after they've gotten used to it and been taught how. They will then be the leader and do it with other students. Once they've done that, you can have them have a conversation. Woo! Woo! So you can put them in pairs and have a conversation, or you do it and they all do it back to you. And that's really fun. Again, you can make these yourself. I also like to use the song, There Was an Old Woman. It's a very good one for the ooh sound. There was an old woman, all skin and bones. You have the students model. Ooh. She lived in a house all by herself. Ooh. One night she thought she'd take a walk. Ooh. She walked down by the old graveyard. Ooh. There's more verses to that, and I will give you that in the handout at the end. She went to the closet to get her broom. Ooh. She opened the door and boo! And the students love to be scared. And as they're older, I have them act that out, and they just love that song. I have always decorated my room during the Halloween time, and if the students are older, I turn off the lights and have black lights on, and they absolutely love that. But you have to be careful because some students, especially the younger ones, might be scared, so you have to be careful about how you handle that. My next activity is a stick. I'm giving you 2 for 1, 2 stick activities. Jane Marsilio did a really fun stick routine, a stick song, so I'm going to teach you 2 more. I like to do several stick. When I get out my sticks, I like to do several at a time. I'm going to give you 2 more stick songs. The first one is a good one for freezing. Tap your sticks, tap your sticks, tap your sticks till the music stops. So that's a good one for a rest activity. Rub your sticks, rub your sticks, rub your sticks till the music stops. Now put this on you can put it on your lap. Roll your sticks, roll your sticks, roll your sticks till the music stops. Wave your sticks, wave your sticks, wave your sticks till the music stops. Walk your sticks, walk your sticks, walk your sticks till the music stops. And then you can ask students to come up with more ideas. They come up with the most imaginative. Make a T with your sticks, make an X with your sticks, drum with your sticks. They can come up with all kinds of ideas, and they absolutely love that. The second stick song is tap, tap, tap your sticks together. Tap, tap, tap your sticks together. La 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 la. Tap 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 your sticks together. Tap 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 your sticks together. And you can again do all of these different movements, rubbing, walking, and ask the students again for more, and they love those, both of those stick songs. The third idea, I guess the fourth idea, is I love to use seashells. I actually, and maybe one of your neighbor has one. I got this in some store, maybe in Florida or somewhere when I was there, but you can, if you can get a large shell, it's really amazing to the students to see this gigantic shell. It's a good time again to talk about sea creatures and science. And you can have it. I talk about the shell. I show them a picture of me picking up shells in the ocean that I got years ago, and that's amazing to them to see me picking up the shells. And then I have them each listen, and I ask them to be quiet as they listen so they can hear inside the shell. Then we will sing the song Seashells. She sells seashells down by the seashore. And I have a little page. I will give this will be, there's a link in your handout for this, and I will show them. She sells seashells down by the seashore. Then I will put a shell on each of the, I should have a table here, but I don't, each of the spots in front, and show them how I will pick up. She sells seashells down by the seashore. And I'll show them how they pick those up. Then I will hand out, I'll have a few students come up and pick up the shells. She sells seashells down by the seashore. You can ask the other students to pretend picking up shells during that time. Then you can hand out a mat for each student and have them each pretend pick up, or I actually have, over time, I have gathered tons of seashells or asked friends as they've gone to the ocean to pick up tiny little seashells for me. And I have them each put it on their mat, and they are delighted. When they get really good at that, I always send home a seashell with them. They absolutely love it. My last idea is I do a major teddy bear picnic every year at the end of the year in kindergarten. We sing all kinds of teddy bear songs like teddy bear, turn around. Anyway, that song. And we do I have a whole set of bears. I got these at Kohl's Cares section in Kohl's, but I have a set of bears I use. But you can use anything, or you could put it, get a paper bear on a stick or a puppet and sing songs like that. We make masks, we do all kinds of things, and it could actually be a performance if you needed to do one for kindergarten. I thought I would teach you one of the songs I like to do in my teddy bear picnic, or the one that we work on for it, is about Goldilocks going to the house of the bears. I first did this in a preschool class I taught for years, a parent-toddler class. And when Goldilocks went to the house of bears, what did her blue eyes see is the version I knew, and a parent was bothered that it had, the bear, or Goldilocks had blue eyes, and she wanted to sing other colors. So you can do that as well. There is a version also that has what did her two eyes see, so that's one I'm going to sing today. When Goldilocks went to the house of the bears, oh, what did her two eyes see? A bowl that was huge, a bowl that was small, and a bowl that was tiny, and that was all. And she counted them 1, 2, 3. When Goldilocks went to the house of the bears, oh, what did her two eyes see? A chair that was huge, a chair that was small, and a chair that was tiny, and that was all. And she counted them 1, 2, 3. When Goldilocks went to the house of the bears, oh, what did her two eyes see? A bed that was huge, a bed that was small, and a bed that was tiny, and that was all. And she counted them 1, 2, 3. When Goldilocks went to the house of the bears, oh, what did her two eyes see? A bear that was big, a bear that was small, and a bear that was tiny, and that was all. And she counted them 1, 2, 3, or you can do she counted them, grrr, 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 and growl with that. And that's a really fun thing you can do. And if you want some more ideas to extend the things I've talked about, or if you don't want to make some of the puppets and things, I have links in my handout. I want to turn the time now over to Kelly Parrish for the rest, 5 more ideas. Thank you.
Thank you, Linda. Hi, I'm Kelly Parrish from Rhythmically Yours, and I'm going to present the final 5 activities that your little ones will love. Kindergartners have busy little bodies. Here are 2 movement songs that your little ones will love. Number 1. Now we walk and we walk and we walk and we stop. Now we walk and we walk and we walk and we stop. It changes easily to now we hop, or now we crawl, or now we march. And not only is the stop a fun surprise, but it gives you a moment to remind students of hands to self or personal space, or it even gives you time to correct any of those behaviors that might already be occurring. This song is also great for transitioning between activities. Now we walk and we walk and we walk to our spot. Now we walk and we walk and we sit on our spot. Just change up the words to transition them to the bookshelf for book time or to get them in line to go back to their classroom. Number 2, gallop, 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 gallop all around. Gallop, 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 hands touch the ground. My kids love this one especially. Not only can the movement be changed, but obviously the body part can be changed as well. Elbows touch the ground or knees touch the ground. You can think of all kinds of movement and body part combinations to keep this movement activity going over and over and over. And I get lots of laughs and giggles when we lay on our bellies. Don't forget to mix in those non-locomotive actions as well. Pat your legs, nod your head, blink your eyes, tap your nose. Having some movements with them stationary in place gives some of them a chance to gain control of their bodies, and it keeps things interesting. It's also a great prep for steady beat. Kindergartners love silly stories. Use this to introduce new songs. I always introduce Frog in the Meadow by telling them a little story about this past weekend when I went to the park. I was walking along the grass and I noticed something moving. I tiptoed closer and closer. And do you know what it was? Let them guess. They'll tell you every single creature on earth that could be in a park in the grass. When they've all guessed, continue with the story. You're right, it was a frog, and you'll never believe what happened. That frog jumped on my hand. Frog in the meadow, can't get him out. Take a little stick and stir him about. Boing, 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 boing. And then he jumped on my head. Can you join me and copy me like you have a little frog? Frog in the meadow, can't get him out. Take a little stick and stir him about. Boing, 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 boing. And then he jumped on my shoulder. He can jump on your legs, jump on the ground in front of you. It's just a silly little way to get them engaged in the song and get their imaginations moving. And plus, that little frog movement is great, steady beat prep. Then, after we've sung the song and played around with our little pretend hand frog, I introduce the game. It's not really a game, it's just a movement, but the kids love it. They just get to take turns hopping around in the circle like a frog. And you can have one hop around at a time if your circle is kind of small, or you could have 2 or 3, and at the end, they choose a new frog to hop in the circle. It gets them moving, gets that energy out again, and they have a good time with it. I don't know about you, but I'm always looking for ways to extend simple rhymes and songs. For example, once we've learned engine, engine number 9, and we've tooted our horn for vocal exploration, and we've moved around, followed each other around in a train for fast and slow, then I build a little town for them in my classroom. The bookcase is the library, and the basket of Beat Buddies is the zoo, and my little plastic classroom mail box is the post office. And then maybe I'll pull my stool out to the middle of the room to be a mountain, and I'll also get out some pool noodles and make a little river or stream. We start in one big train and practice moving from stop to stop. And each stop might have their own special activity or song. For example, at the zoo, we might stop and sing a little song about animals. At the bookcase, we might stop and read a book. And at my mailbox, I might have some little musical mail with questions or activities prepared for them ahead of time. Once they've had practice moving in one big train around the room, then you can split them up into smaller trains and let each student have a chance to practice being the conductor or leader of their train. They love this activity because it gives them some freedom to explore the room and use their imaginations. You can either have a set path for them to follow from stop to stop or let them move freely. When you revisit this activity on other days, let them construct the town and let them come up with ideas of what activity might go at each station. Let them think of all the fun songs about animals that they know, or let them choose the book from the library. Centers are so much fun in kindergarten. They love to play and explore. My favorite hands-on center for them is a set of sound shakers. These shakers are made from these black film canisters that I found on Amazon, and they're filled with various objects from around the house. I chose these film canisters because even without supergluing the tops, they can be very difficult for fidgety hands to pry into. However, supergluing is recommended. I try to find objects with different timbres such as rice, beans, jingle bells, pennies, fuzzy pom-poms, tiny beads, wooden blocks, or anything that you can find laying around the house. I make 2 exact matching pairs and ask the kids to shake them to find the matches. You can also extend the activity by asking them to find shakers that have high sounds and low sounds, or loud sounds and soft sounds. If you'd like a set of these sound shakers for your classroom, be sure to download my handout for a link for a giveaway. The giveaway ends soon, so be sure to get entered right away. If you'd like to hear more ideas for centers for kindergarten and beyond, go back to the archive sessions saved in the group to watch Linda and I present more about hands-on centers in the classroom. Incorporate some number skills with the song Sailor, Sailor. Sailor, sailor on the sea, sailor, sailor on the sea, sailor, sailor on the sea, what treasures have you brought to me? There's more verses, but I think kindergarten would do well with just the first verse. I found this little treasure box at the Target dollar aisle. You can also find some wooden ones in the local craft store perhaps, or maybe a teacher store. And you can pick up some fancy vase filler or some that look like little gems, or you could pick up some plastic gold coins. I didn't have any of those on hand, so I just printed out some clip art and put some Velcro on the back for a visual that I have for this game. Practice the song before you play the game. Practice the song by swaying to that 6/8 feel. Maybe pretend you're on a boat or maybe floating on an inner tube. And once they can sing the song independently, then it's time for the game. If you don't have any 3D gems and you just printed out clip art, I made this great visual that'll be available in my handout. And what you're going to do is demonstrate first as the teacher. So sing the song, have the kids sing the song, and as they're singing, you're going to pick from the treasure box. You're going to pick up to 5 gems and attach them to your paper, but don't show them. Remind the kids that there's up to 5 of them, 5 or less. And when the song's done, choose kids that might have a guess about how many there are. When they've guessed the number correctly, you can show your visual and then practice counting. 1, 2. When they get the answers wrong, I also have them sing the song over again, which is great practice and a lot of fun. And it really gets that feeling of 6/8 swaying in them. When you've finished your demonstration and the kids understand the game, then call a student up to be the leader. Make sure that when the number is guessed correctly, the student gets to lead the counting 1, 2. Your classroom teachers will appreciate you practicing counting in your classroom as well. This concludes our 20 low-tech, no-tech activities for pre-K and kinder. I'd like to thank my co-presenters, Jane, Darlene, and Linda. And we hope that you stay tuned for many more great sessions from the 2021 Music Crew Virtual Conference. Thank you.